Culpeo's officially commenced this first ever or maiden diamond drilling program at La Florida. La Florida is part of the Fortuna project in Chile. First time drilling, so very excited about the opportunity there. There's two newly defined copper zones and they've got pretty significant footprints. The largest one is 1.7 kilometres by 500 metres. And that was identified through geochemical sampling and trenching. We've been in the area a couple of times now and the team have been working hard there. We've had some very, promising results there with copper grades of 3.96% and gold up to 2.6 grams per tonne. So there's certainly, plenty of mineralisation at surface. And we're fully funded for this program. We did a successful capital raise in May of this year, so $3 million in the kitty. So this initial 1,400 metre program will test those two high priority targets. La Florida, the targets there are, somewhat analogous to what we've discovered at the Lana Carina project, which is 10 kilometres to the south. There we hit 454 metres at 0.93% copper equivalent. It's a similar system, so obviously these initial holes, they'll help us determine where we sit from a stratigraphic perspective and also where in that system we think we sit. Again, we're in Chile's infrastructure-laden coastal belt. It enables efficient development. There's access to roads, power, and skilled labour. And we're 3.5 hour drive from the capital, Santiago, on paved roads. So very easy to access, can operate all year round. And obviously, what we'd like to do is make another discovery. Obviously, we've got the Lana Carina copper molybdenum discovery, but if we could make a second discovery, that'd be very significant. And we'd expect the market to respond very positively and it'll continue our growth pipeline. We obviously have other assets we need to test, but La Florida is the current focus. And it's part of the overall strategy of Culpeo. Focus on near surface mineralisation, open pittable projects with healthy systems that have scale. So ideally we'd like to see 50 to 100 million tonnes open pittable type project around that 0.7 to 0.8 copper equivalent. So we'll do this 4-hole program, test those two large anomalies. Post that, we'll probably actually go to El Quillay, which is just to the south. So previously we'd done a little bit of drilling there, but we'd look to go back and test some of the other areas that we haven't tested. And what's interesting there is we've had some very good high-grade copper. So our highest surface sample there was 9.78% copper, so just under 10% copper. And then we also had a 48.3 gram per tonne gold sample from Quillay, so that's another important area for us. We've obviously got trenching results outstanding. We expect those to come in the coming weeks. Obviously, following that, we'll have the drilling results. And our approach to these programs is if you have success, continue to drill. If you have moderate success, then you'll look to go somewhere else, review the data that comes out of that. As I mentioned earlier, figure out where we are from a stratigraphic perspective and within the system, and then come back and continue to test that. With such a large surface target, we need to find out where we are, and we'll probably need some more holes there to hit the bullseye, for want of a better expression. As I mentioned, we're well funded and we'll continue to systematically advance these projects and create significant shareholder value.